Hi, and welcome to this edition of Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I am Dustin, and I am here today with Andrew Royce Bauer, who is the CEO of Royce Leather. Thank you so much for being here.
Dustin, thank you for having me.
I wanted you on because I saw quite a few of your products, and I was so impressed with the leather goods. And I wanted to find out more about your company. And specifically, there's the Freedom Wallet, but we can talk about that later. Maybe you can walk us through the Royce Leather and when it was founded. What types of products you produce and things like that.
Sounds good. Royce Leather is most importantly about the company. It's a family business.
Okay.
And we take a lot of pride in that, and that really exhibits itself in the passion that we put forth in our products every single day. It was originally known as Emporium Leather. In 1974, it was founded by my father, Harold Bauer,
Okay.
In the Flatiron District of New York City. He started out of a small warehouse and started his line from there. He went on for about 40 years under the label Emporium Leather. And in 2013, I stepped up. We launched ourselves as Royce Leather as a more online leather goods seller. So we've been featured in Brookstone, The Sharper Image, David's Bridal, Kohl's. So a lot of national retailers have featured our leather goods. And we're an Inc. 5000 company. We're one of the fastest growing private label companies in the United States of America. So we take a lot of pride in products that people desire and people have use for. And so for over 40 years, we've continued on selling leather goods. And now we're starting to integrate more technology into our products as the consumer has transitioned over the last 40 years.
So we have a variety of leather goods. So when you started, or when your dad started many years ago, was it one piece? Was it in an entire line, or how did the business grow?
So whenever you start up a fashion company or fashion accessories company, you usually have to come out with a collection. So my father, he started out with this made in America leather goods, or he would purchase leather goods, whether it be from Coach in New York City or other manufacturers locally, because we didn't have the internet in 1974. So he started out with a collection, and he was able to sell door to door as a salesperson. He would go to Chicago, he would go to LA, Dallas, walk in there and introduce himself and present his line. Thankfully, because of technology, I can now present my collections just via email or Skype. I still actually do some exhibits at some of these department stores, but most of our work is done through the email now and through technology. So things have changed, but the concept is still the same. We're coming out with a new collection every season of accessories, and trying just to meet the needs of our consumer as every year goes by.
And are your products geared more toward business people or day-to-day users, or is it a combination, or what is your line like?
I think originally in 1974, leather was known as something that was very luxurious and exotic, and originally we really honed in our focus on business people, people who could really appreciate and people who could frankly afford leather goods. A lot of times you might remember earlier in the 90s and the 80s, there was the pleather. It was fake leather.
Right.
That was very, very popular. And so not people can always afford leather. But now, thanks to technology, we're a larger company now, so we can buy large quantity leather goods, which can make it more price appropriate for the average everyday consumer. So we're very thankful now that we can offer real, genuine leather goods to the everyday consumer. We actually just announced that our products are going to be in Walmart in the upcoming year.
Wow,
and
great.
I think nothing is more American as a large department store than Walmart. I think any person from any socioeconomic status has stepped inside a Walmart and could really relate to those products. So we're very happy that anyone can really appreciate our leather goods.
So Andrew, you mentioned that in 2013 you took over the helm and you became the CEO of the company. What kind of challenges has that presented to you, if any, and how have you overcome them?
I think the challenge is just to gain the trust, first of all, your employees, and then second of all, your customers. I think when I'm a young entrepreneur, I have new ideas than my father is. My father trained me in leather design, but I have my own ideas of where I want to take the company into the future as our customers and consumers are changing. with each generation. So I think there's a challenge of really proving to both your staff and to your consumers that you're ready to embrace the challenges of an everyday business. And it was definitely a transition period. Not just having new ideas and explaining these new ideas, but also learning what it takes to run a business, to do everything from packing and shipping to account receivables, sales, design. To run a business, you have to know every single function, and I think that was what I had to do when I transitioned into the leadership of the company.
But since it's obviously a family company, did you have to know how to do all those things anyway when you were growing up in the company? Or like how closely tied to the company were you even, while you were growing up?
Definitely. When I was 6 years old, I started taking computer classes, learning how to type. When I was 7, they taught me how to do order entry into the computer system. So at a very, very young age, I learned the simple functions of a business, and it was part of my environment throughout my life. And I'm very lucky for that, because I think when you look at entrepreneurship and running a company, it takes one, intelligence and innovation and creativity, but it also takes learning how to manage functions and how to execute a plan of action. So I think there's two parts of the business. And so growing up in that business atmosphere, I learned how to execute ideas, and then my creativity was able to really just come with my education.
And so how have you been able to, you mentioned your creativity, and now that you are the new CEO, how have you been able to demonstrate your creativity in the new line or the new products and things like that?
I think when you step into leadership of a company, you have to really showcase a vision. And so my vision for this company going into the future is to have the most innovative leather goods on the marketplace, the most beautiful, sleek, modern design products that can meet people's price points, that are innovative, that are really geared towards the future. And I think we want to be a sustainable company. We've been around for over 40 years, and I want to be able to hand this company down to my family one day. And I think by putting a very forward-thinking vision, while still respecting the present, I think that's what I've done in the last year.
I like that. I like that you said that you want to respect the present, but also you have innovative ideas. So you mentioned that you the creativity aspect of it you had to bring to your position, your current position. How long did it take you to think of the things that you did want to bring? So, for example, like the Freedom Wallet. How did you? Was this something in the back of your mind, like for a while, or is this something that you thought about strategically in how you would like to lead the company?
So I think growing up in my era, technology is what I know, and it's really Silicon Valley and startups and mobile applications. These are all very common terminologies for me. So when I went into the business, I think that was what I can most relate to, is technology and innovative concepts in that regard. So when I introduced with Royce Leather the Freedom Wallet, the world's first leather wallet with radio frequency identification blocking technology and GPS tracking technology, that was really my first product that I could showcase a very traditional leather good design with the most modern technology that's really out in the marketplace right now in terms of anti-theft and protecting your valuables and protecting your privacy with your wallet.
So now that you've mentioned, I want us to talk a little bit more about, we'll have a demo a little bit later, but you mentioned RFID and the GPS tracking. Explain what the Freedom Wallet does.
Okay, so the Freedom Wallet, the most important function of this wallet is to protect you and to really serve as an anti-theft product for pretty much your most valuable possession that you carry every single day. Unfortunately, criminals can wirelessly scan off the numbers on your credit cards, your debit cards, your social security number, wirelessly scan that from 3 to 5 to 7 feet away.
Wow. Okay.
And it's actually one of the fastest growing crimes in the U.S. As well as the U.K. and Canada. And I think while there are a lot of policies that the government has instituted to protect identity theft, when it happens to you, I was thinking maybe we can get ahead of the criminals, outsmart them before it actually happens. And that's why I developed this technological material inside the lining of the wallet that blocks these wireless scanning waves to protect you as a consumer. And this is a technology that is in a large assortment of our products right now on RoyceLeatherGifts.com. What I wanted to also do, though, that no one else had done, was add GPS tracking technology into the wallet. GPS tracking technology has been around for a long time, but what I wanted to do was have it to be accessible for a consumer. So we developed a mobile application that used GPS tracking technology along with an alarm system to allow consumers to know the location of their wallet, and if they walk away from their wallet, to have an alarm system where they can hear the location of their wallet and locate it along with the GPS tracking technology.
That's pretty amazing.
So we really wanted to do everything we can to make sure this wallet will never be lost, and if it is, you're going to find it.
That's wonderful. We have about a minute left. So I wanted you mentioned your online, could you mention the website again?
Definitely. So Royce Leather's website is RoyceLeatherGifts.com. We don't sell direct to consumers. We sell direct to large department stores like Walmart, like Sears, Kohl's, Brookstone.com. So if you go into any of these sites or Amazon, type in Royce Leather and the Freedom Wallet, you can access all these products that I've designed on these websites.
And then that's where people can go. They can find out where they're sold in those particular stores.
Definitely.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to come back in about a minute, and we're actually going to do a demonstration. I'm excited to to see how this works. And we'll be back in 1 minute, and we'll see you at the end of the commercial.
Local government, local educational institutions, and local community members all use cable access TV to communicate their message. They depend upon it as an affordable means of outreach. Public educational and government access television empowers local government agencies, individuals, and groups to use the media to speak directly to their constituents in a more direct and cost-effective way. Make sure everyone has a voice. Support your local PEG channels.
Welcome back to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm here with Andrew from Royce Leather. Now we will do a bit of a demonstration with the Freedom Wallet, and you'll show us how it works.
Well, I think first of all, what's most important about it is the actual wallet. So this is the men's wallet design. We use top grain leather, which is one of the finest leather materials you'll find in the world. It's a common bifold men's wallet. The RFID blocking technology, I line it in the lining right here. So if you hear that little crinkle, that's the technological material that blocks the wireless scanning waves when someone tries to access your personal information.
Okay.
And then what we've become famous for, is the GPS tracker, the Royce Leather GPS tracker. It goes in the interior of a wallet, and as long as that tracker is inside the men's wallet, your wallet should not be lost. And so we developed a mobile application with this wallet.
Okay, may I see the wallet?
Yep.
Okay.
And here's the women's wallet.
Oh, very nice. See that too. And it also has the RFID in here.
Definitely, in the lining of the wallet.
In the lining.
And
so it would never fall out, basically. The RFID is just inside.
So it's inside the lining.
Okay.
And so we have our mobile application on the phone.
Okay.
And to locate the tracker, you just hit locate tracker on the mobile application, and the mobile application's free. And so now I'm looking here on the map, and it gives me the coordinates of the wallet. And then now if I'm in a room or a bathroom and I don't know exactly where those coordinates are going to lead me to, if the wallet is underneath a pillow, there's an alarm system, so I'm going to hit sound alarm on the wallet.
Okay. And we can hear it.
And that's
awesome.
And now I'll hit stop because I don't want to go on too long. And that's how the Freedom Wallet works.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And you said this is it's 3 to 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? That's great.
So the 3 to 7 feet is for the RFID blocking. So someone will try to scan you, usually in a subway or in a crowded area, someone will try to scan you. And we found that definitely in New York, London, very touristy, Milan, very touristy areas, it's most common. The GPS tracking technology actually works within 150 feet of your phone.
Wow.
So it's a very sizable location. And actually, when you walk out of that 150 feet area, your phone is actually going to buzz pretty loudly because it's going to let you know, hey, you walked 150 feet away from probably one of your most valuable possessions.
So I don't even have to locate it after over 150 feet. It just beeps on its own.
Oh, definitely. That's what,
Okay.
I mean, we want to do everything we can to make sure you do not lose that wallet. And so
Okay.
when you walk outside that zone, we'll gently remind you that you walked away from your wallet. And something that we've added to this mobile application very recently, because we have over tens of thousands of users of this application right now, we have what you call crowd GPS. So if you do walk outside the 150 feet area and you don't know where your wallet is, but someone else who has this Freedom Wallet and a mobile application walks into the area where your wallet is, their phone will go off and say, hey, someone else's wallet is in your area, and if it's lost, you can get your wallet back, and that could be anywhere in the world.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. That is very. You are the only company that has done this. Is that correct?
Definitely. We're very proud of the fact that the Freedom Wallet is the only one with the GPS tracking map in the alarm system and the RFID blocking material. When I came up with this idea, I wanted to be the first to do something, and I'm very happy to be able to reinvent the wallet for our customers.
And what has been the response from your customers?
We've had good and bad. I think the bad was a lot of older customers didn't really know how to use the mobile application. It's a free mobile application on the iTunes store in the Android market. So once you get the wallet, all you have to do is go on there and type in the wallet tracker and download the application. And we make that clear now in the instructions just to be as transparent as possible, as we realize that not everyone grew up with mobile applications and GPS tracking technology. But other than that, it's been a lot of really good positive response. We've had a huge volume of sales. It's our best-selling product right now, and it's been featured nationally and regionally in a lot of different places. And we've been really very gratified that people recognize that this is a good idea, and not just a good idea, but it was a usable idea for them, and it really can make a difference in their lives.
And let me just show these two again. So these are the two, for the women and the men. And do they come in different colors too?
Yes, so the Freedom Wallet for the men comes in black and cocoa, and for the women it comes in red and black.
Okay.
And it's an upcoming update, but as we go into the holiday season, we're definitely going to expand this collection. It's been available for under a year now. We've had such a great success with these two products that we're going to integrate this technology into a wider assortment of our wallets so we can meet everyone's personal taste of what type of wallet they want to carry around.
Oh, I was thinking this is going to help a lot of people like myself, for example, because if you lose your wallet in your house, for example, you don't even have to lose it outside of your house, but inside, it's great to have the GPS in order to, locate it so you're not running late or anything, So that's such a wonderful idea. So coming up, you said you will incorporate it into some of the other wallets that they're not Freedom wallets, or is it a Freedom wallet once it has the RFID and GPS in it?
So this one we call it the Freedom Wallet because since it was the first product in the market, we wanted to give it a nice name that could really give meaning to the product. Mm-hmm. Going forward, just for search engine optimization purposes, we're going to just call it an RFID blocking wallet with a GPS tracker.
Okay.
Just so people who search for those terms, RFID blocking, GPS tracking, who have those same kind of needs, can find it more easily on Google and these search engines. But we're very proud of the Freedom Wallet being kind of like the first wallet of this kind in the marketplace.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to adding more of these type of products as we go into the latter part of the year.
Okay. So we talked a lot about the Freedom Wallet. Can you tell us a little bit about the other products that you also, make?
So these are products from our upcoming collection.
Okay.
We feature Saffiano leather, which is it's a top grain leather material that a lot of designers use in the marketplace right now. It has a nice, sleek Italian finish that we are able to produce. And the goal of this collection was really to modernize. To really modernize leather goods. Leather goods are usually known for having a softer feel, a more thicker cut, in the leather goods, and I wanted something thinner, something more modern, sleek, especially as airline requirements have gotten thinner and thinner.
Right.
For example, with the barrel bag, this would not be a barrel bag in 1980, but nowadays, we want everyone, as laptops and tablets have gotten smaller and smaller, and requirements have gotten more strict, we want to make sure our products meet the requirements of the consumer going forward. So you'll notice that these measurements of all these products are just a tad thinner than you would have seen maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And that's just my goal, to continue to modernize and meet the future needs of our consumers, so we can sustain ourselves going forward.
And what has been the reaction from the consumers, or is this too new that it hasn't
No,
even
so
been out?
we've
yet?
Royce Leather does a lot of different trade shows.
Oh, okay.
So we go around the country to Atlantic City, Las Vegas, New York, Phoenix, etc. And we feature our upcoming collections, and so we can get feedback in terms of what people like, what they don't like. And so it's a very modern collection. That's the main feedback we've gotten. And we got a lot of pre-orders for these products, which is really nice.
Oh, that's great.
And we noticed a lot of Wall Street, everyone from like Wall Street executives just to the traveling salesperson. I mean, it meets a lot of people's budgets, but it still has that kind of designer look to it, which is something I take a lot of pride in. So we're definitely expecting very great things from this collection going forward.
And you mentioned the budget. Like, what is the range for your product, like the low to the high end?
So for example, like a women's Saffiano briefcase, I mean, that could go up to maybe $300, $350, just because it's nickel hardware, it's top grade leather material. So that would be like the higher end. And for like a Freedom wallet, for example, it'll probably be in the range of $75 to $100.
Oh, okay.
So we find these are really good gift items when you want to make a special impression on someone, especially around Father's Day, Mother's Day, the Christmas, the holiday season. When you want to have a unique idea or a unique gift, Royce Leather is the company to come to.
And I'm assuming that this, looking at the leather, that it probably lasts a lifetime. This is something that you give as a gift, and you can probably pass it down.
Definitely. It's funny. My uncle, he actually came to visit. My brother was graduating from college last week, and he says, "Yeah, I still have that Royce Leather bag from 1991. Maybe I should take a picture of it and post it on our Facebook page." And I said, "Maybe you should, because it looks like the same as when he bought it in 1991." So we do take a lot of pride, and that's the difference between leather and just like nylon or mesh or other materials. The leather, it actually helps the environment because it's going to last a long time. You're not going to have to rebuy another product with more material in that regard.
And that's something. A lot of people would love that for that very reason. Because one, if you said that the leather maintains its the same sheen and everything like that, then you don't have to worry about like, okay, in 10 years is this going to be dated, or in 20 years it's very classic, as far as the style. So I want you to tell us again the website.
Okay.
And I know people cannot order directly, but at least they can find out where to get your product.
Definitely. So our Royce Leather's website is Royce, ROYCE, Leather, LEATHER, gifts, GIFTS.com. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Royce Leather. We have a lot of great following, and if you do get a product, feel free to post a picture of the product on our page and give us some feedback. We love to hear from our customers. And you can see our products featured, such as the Freedom Wallet, on Brookstone.com, thesharperimage.com, Kohl's.com, Walmart.com, etc., etc.
Okay. We have a couple more minutes, and I wanted to ask you just one more question about being the CEO, because I know you're a very young CEO, and this is, but you've been in the business, obviously, your entire life. Now that you have your new collection, and you mentioned that initially there was an obstacle of trying to get the current people in the company to build their trust. What has been their reception to all of the things that you have done in the last year?
So at first, when I came up with a lot of, I actually have a couple of other innovative ideas, world's first, upcoming in the next year or two, that they've been able to hear out, that I'm keeping private still, but I'll come back on the show and announce it at the appropriate time. But at first they were very interested, just intrigued by these innovative ideas, because there was stuff that they never really thought about. So I think I was happy to expose him to that. But in terms of gaining trust, it goes back to running a business. Everything they do, I've done. Every job in the company, I've been there, I've done it, I've learned it. And I take a lot of pride. I get there at 8 a.m., I leave at 7:30. So I work the whole day. I try to be the hardest worker every single day, not just for myself, but to set example for the other workers, to show them that I'm willing to get nitty and gritty, despite all these great ideas and innovative ideas and all the national or media attention that we've been able to receive. I'm still willing to get on the floor and pack and ship and do all the jobs in the company, because that's my way of gaining their trust and gaining their respect, is really doing the jobs that don't get all the limelight and don't get all the national attention. I think that's how I've been able to prove myself. And also having a supportive family, my mom, the vice president, my brother, the marketing director, we all are able to support each other, because we're all invested in this company as we are a family business.
Andrew, thank you so much for being here. I do want you to come back again, because I want to see what happens with your new collection, and I know you'll probably have more innovative things. Thank you so much, and this is Dustin's Kaleidoscope, and we will see you next time.